Yeah, man, it is the 15th of September because it's after midnight, 2023, and I got a few things to talk about. It's one of those days where I'm forced to make a video to document the dumb things that are happening because they just start overstepping boundaries and having an effect on my life. And this is the times where I really need to document what's going on. First of all, somebody commented like, why do you say yeah man at the start of all your videos? It sounds ridiculous or something like that. And I really don't know. I've been saying that for all of my videos for like since the beginning, for like even before I did videos. I think I was saying it on like audio. I don't know. But it's been at least like 6 years probably, and every video starts that way, so it's just kind of like my thing. So if you hear somebody start their video and say, yeah, man, then you know it's probably me. All right. As you guys know, I've been in college now for 2 years. I'm doing very well with it, and like 3.73 GPA. And, it's pretty much part-time because I can't do more than like 2, sometimes 3 classes each semester, including the summer semesters. So, I'm getting maybe 8 classes a year in, and the 3 semesters. And so I'm kind of taking it slow, taking my time. Computer programming, it's a computer science degree that I'm working on, and I'm starting to get into the more advanced classes. But I also work full time, and I do a lot of things other than that with my life, and I stay pretty busy and try to use my time wisely. But sometimes I have to do assignments like when I'm on the go and stuff like that. So I have a MacBook. I've always used MacBooks for a long time now, and I also have iPhones, a couple of them. And I've had Androids and I've had other stuff, but typically especially with this gang stalking situation, I can't even use an Android. They do so much that it doesn't even function for me in a way that's feasible for me to handle the things that I need to handle. So I've had better luck with iPhones, although they do a lot to my iPhones and MacBook and anything else that I use. Also, I want to talk about how they like to punish things. But anyway, I needed to do an assignment today. They always know what the deal is. They focus in and obsess on every detail of your life when you're dealing with gang stalking. And just to be clear, somebody was trying to talk about how I never put videos of like of the people gang stalking me around. Am I supposed to be sitting here putting videos of like 2 white cars going by and talk about how they're getting gift cards and all that? No, because that's not the truth. And that's not really what's happening. And if you're worried about 2 white cars that just went by, you're probably paranoid. Although there is a such thing as street theater where you will have gang stalkers that are on your neural monitoring, okay, and they can track you that way and like to show up in places where you are to make some kind of public mockery of your life, or run you off the road, or drop a smoke bomb, or go past you playing like a song that you made that you didn't release or something like that, and that's the kind of things that they've done to me historically. But I've talked about all of that plenty of times. So, but typically gang stalking is a broadcast thing, remote neural monitoring, and it's broadcast artificial telepathy, where basically they talking and it's like out loud, really. It's not like in your head or something like that. It disperses off of all kinds of things, and you guys know what I'm talking about because that's why you're here, because we are all dealing with the same thing. It's broadcast. Remote neural monitoring is broadcast. There's no microchips. There's way less of people following you around or doing stuff like that, especially if like you're beyond that kind of phase with your targeting. It's 90% broadcast stuff, and the hacking and the messing with your devices and your accounts, and they have the capabilities to just do anything that they want to. All right, they know that I have assignment due at midnight. All right, and I didn't have much time. I didn't get the assignment done. I didn't, because the reason was because I couldn't get my services to work. My services would not work, so I need to be able to connect through like all of my devices linked up, and through iCloud or whatever. Like, it works flawlessly. I don't have to set up the hotspots or like do anything weird. They just work together because they're all on my iCloud, and so I can use my laptop. And I got multiple iPhones, and it's just a way that I can operate. But not today. They've shut it down. Every time I try to connect, I would see it start to connect, and then it would shut down. They would shut down the connection, and I literally just couldn't get it to work. And lately, honestly, they haven't messed with that very often. It's very rare, and I feel like it's because they want to use it instead, like on like their virtual device side. But what happens is they do things like that, and it's almost like, I'm not going to let you do this. I'm not going to let you do that. Like, they want to have this control over you. And, there's unmeasurable liabilities that come with this kind of thing. And you start causing me to like fail assignments and not do well on my classes and stuff like that. And it causes me to do videos and say, hey, the Lackey group, the Matheny group, Black James and his group, Antoine and the Carter Court group, Tony Bruce and his group. These are like 5 subsectors of this gang stalking overall organization around the Atlanta area that I deal with. And just so you guys know, you gang stalkers, just so you gang stalkers know, I won't let up. I won't quit doing videos. I won't quit learning more and spreading the knowledge that I've learned. And I won't quit working until you are accountable and held responsible for all of these things that you've done to hinder my life or my success or my financials. Okay. And anything that you've done, anything that any of you have done to hold my life back, I fully plan on trying to put a price on that. And I know they're like, oh, you're never getting your neural monitoring. We'll see. We'll see about it. And, as soon as I start thinking to do a video, I get one of these idiots start like shocking my genitals with broadcasts. Basically with their little broadcasts, they're on mind control and controlling, just penetrate my body in some areas. It's like, oh, and it's literally, it's like that sharp. Instantly, they hit me in my stomach, all of you guys know. You're like, oh yeah, they're hitting me with the beams, the direct energy weapons. It's their broadcast. They're on a mind control headset thing on neural monitoring, and they're actually, they'll have things over their eyes, and they're actually connected with a broadcast and like living as this little cartoon little broadcast running around doing whatever they want to do. And they do this like it's a virtual reality. I call it broadcast reality because it's not virtual reality. Virtual reality, you put on something and you're in this computerized, made up world inside of this headgear thing that's like a video game, and you're not actually there, and there isn't actually a place. But this broadcast reality, they are actually there, and there is Earth and the surrounding areas around us, and they can be a broadcast, and in their mind they can live as that broadcast. This hologram little broadcast is virtually invisible to the naked eye. And there are ways to see this kind of stuff. And all of this stuff is like, why would you continue to sit here and try to do things to one of the people that actually knows what's going on and talks about it with 10,000 subscribers listening and grows every day. And sometimes if it grows too much, they'll go in and delete a bunch of them. And I'll have this big day where it's like all the time, I can look at my statistics and all the time it's like way up, like 5 or 6 a day, sometimes 10 or 12 a day, every day. And then suddenly like that, like I'll think to myself like, yeah, it's everybody's starting to know, everybody's starting to fall in, and listen, and it's starting to make some traction. And the next day I'll have like -7 or something where they could just go in and delete a bunch of people, or they'll go into your accounts and unsubscribe you, stuff like that, and they all can communicate with each other on neural monitoring. Okay, it's just almost like a social media. It's like a secret social media where they can all go, and that's where their live streams are, and they just sit there and live stream people. They do stuff to them with their broadcasts, and they live stream their private life and mind rape. Somebody said, why don't you ever say mind rape? That's what it really is. You never say that. I don't know. I've said it in 100 videos over the last 5 years at least, maybe 500. Okay, it is that. It really is that, mind rape. And not to mention physical torture and attacks and assault. And I'm sure in many cases, murder. And I'm sure that they've pushed people to commit suicide in many cases. And will they ever be held accountable for that? You know, I know, I'm certain that there will be a lot of lawsuits and criminal charges and a lot of accountability on at least the side of account fraud and device trespass or computer trespass, or a lot of those kind of things where they've been doing things and they're going to be liable for a lot of things. And so are these big companies like Apple, Microsoft, Google, probably Amazon with AWS, and anywhere that has allowed these gang stalkers to operate, and it can be shown that they knowingly did so. All right, and if they can get into my iCloud and they get on my iPhone, they put virtual devices on my stuff and just basically operate like it's their own device. Sometimes, you know, your phone get real hot and then your brightness will click down and then you can't make it go back up, and everything's working halfway, because when you create a virtual device and you put it on a device, like I have virtual devices on my MacBook, you know, and you have to allocate a certain amount of the resources, the hardware resources to that virtual device. So you could give it, you know, 10 gigs of hard drive, and you can give it, you know, however much memory, RAM, and you allocate resources, hardware resources to a virtual machine. And when your hardware starts acting weird, but, you know, you don't have a virtual machine, yeah, you do, they put it on there. And they operate like that, and they're running live streams, EMF broadcast stuff, all kind of gangs talking stuff about neural monitoring. And it's 100% part of the targeting, one of the biggest parts. And they can just run program and take over your whole thing. You ought to see any MacBook I've ever had. If I turn it on, I go to console, it just, you can't even read it. You can't even read it. Okay, if I leave it on for 5 minutes on the console, it'll have 500,000, no lie, 500,000 events and things that are happening. And I'll try to look, and I can't even click on one. It's already gone 1,000 things ago. All right, and that's not how a console is supposed to act. A console is supposed to be doing the things that you're doing on it only. But I can go in and like completely disable the all connectivity. Not just like Wi-Fi off, but go in and like disable the Wi-Fi and the all connectivities. And still, all the stuff happening nonstop. If I have no programs running, nothing. And if you buy a brand new MacBook, that's not happening. Okay. But if I get a brand new MacBook, within 2 minutes, that's what's happening. All right. And it's not just my MacBook. It's been like at least 4 MacBooks that I've had, and a tower too. All of these, it's ridiculous. And this is why I started going to college for computer programming. And I've already started the process of dual enrollment or dual major, where I'm going to also do cybersecurity. And so a lot of the classes are the same. So I'm going to have programming, cybersecurity, and the cybersecurity I'll be able to get in half the time that it's taking me to get the programming, because half the classes are the same. But then you get into the more advanced classes like device penetration and all this different network stuff and like hacker stuff. And the cybersecurity, you get into the more hacker stuff. And get this, when I'm done with those two, I'll be able to get like another third computer science degree, like web development or something like that, application development, something like that, for like 7 classes or something, because so many of the classes with the other 2 degrees will be the same, as long as I do it within the amount of time that a class is valid. Technology stuff is changing rapidly, so I don't know if I'll make it. A lot of the classes will be like, they'll say, yo, you got to retake this, you know, that was 4 or 5 years ago, like 6 years ago, you got to retake this. But you know, I fully intend on following through with this. Like I said, I got 3.73. The only reason it's that low is because I kind of took some stuff in the wrong order, and I almost failed one class, and the rest of the classes I got all A's so far, you know. So I'm going to continue to do that, and this channel is going to start moving towards, you know, this is what you need to do to see exactly what these gang stalkers are doing in your phone and on your laptop. And I'm going to tell all you guys, you're going to look and you're going to say, oh, wow, you know, and then I'm going to come up with some more stuff. This is how you file these lawsuits and how you hold them accountable. This is how you track down this IP and that IP. And it's going to start getting that way. Okay, because I'm an intelligent person. And, you know, after several computer science degrees, and especially once I get in the financial position where I don't have to spend so much time trying to get money and working and stuff like that, where I can kick back, you know, half my time and do this kind of stuff, then it's going to get real bad for them. And why are these idiots, this group of idiots, still on my neural monitoring, still yelling the same stupid phrases all the time, putting out the same little shows, getting the same insults right out of my mind without me even saying it out loud? Because they're dumb, they're obsessed, and they're trapped. And it doesn't make any sense. But I just really wanted to talk about the liabilities, you know. If you cause, and how many times have they caused us to have some other problems or some other lack of income or resources or some alteration of our pathways in our life because of the things that they're doing to us and to our devices. And, you know, there's going to end up being some kind of way to put some kind of number on that, you know. You're causing this problem for me, and I can show that you did that, and you've been doing that for years and years and years, and like, how much is that worth? It's worth more than they have. They're overextended. And there's going to be a time where they have to be accountable. Now, whether they're going to be accountable for broadcast torture, I don't know. I honestly believe that we're going to find ourselves in a more savage time in the future, and society's going to be in a state of unrest. And I think it's going to be riots in the streets. I think these gang stalkers will get dragged into the streets and held accountable in a vigilante way. I think that will happen in the future on a broad scale. But I think in the meantime, over the next 5 to 10 years, I think that there's going to be a ton of people starting to figure out how to hold them accountable legally for the internet crimes, for the hacking, for the destruction of our property, for the account fraud, for the computer trespass. And then all of that starts to lead into the liabilities of what it's caused us to lose, how it's affected our life, because you don't get that time back. And, you know, if you go to prison for 20 years and then they find out you're innocent and they let you out, they give you $20 million because they stole your time, and your time you can't get back. And that's what these gang stalkers are doing. They're stealing our time, and you can't get that back. And it's the most important thing. So anyway, that's pretty much it. I really appreciate all the support. You guys, we'll probably hit 10K. I'm on the countdown now, so it's probably going to be like a week or two before we hit 10K on this channel. And it's been a long road. Somebody was like, hey, are you aware that your channel's monetized and they are running ads on the... Yes, they do that, okay? They do that, and that's not why I do this. I hardly make anything off of it. I mean, I make enough, just about... No, I make about probably 75% of my phone bill, okay, every month. That's it. I don't make anything. It's like $100 or something. So, you know, and I've been doing this for 6 years with thousands and thousands of videos out there. So it's nothing. It's not for the money. That's not why I do it. I would pay that much to not have to do it. But anytime you meet a criteria with like 4,000 watch time hours annually, which I have like 10 times that, and 1,000 subscribers and 10,000 plays, I think it is. There's some criteria that, and I met it years ago, and then they monetize your channel. you know, and you can let those little ads that you skip after 5 seconds, you can let those happen, and then you get like a penny or something, you know, if somebody skips that ad or if they watch it. You don't get much, and you really have to get, you know, be one of those people that goes viral and does videos and like Mr. Beast or something, you know, you get millions of plays every day, and then you can make some money doing this. But otherwise, it's not something that you're really going to make money doing. And it maybe helps a little bit, you know, it pays like half my phone bill, and that's it. So I don't want you guys to get the wrong idea and think like, oh, I'm doing this to try to make money. There's no money in it really for me. I would be worse off than a homeless person if I relied on this for my money. So anyway, but yes, I am aware that there is those little skippable ads in my videos, and it's been that way for a long time since I met the criteria, but it doesn't matter. I do the videos for free, just like I did them for free the first few years that I was on YouTube. It doesn't matter. It's not why I do it. But anyway, I still appreciate the support, and I know you guys are going through the same thing. So continue to pay attention to this channel, and I promise you the videos will start to get less of me talking about the same thing where we're like, oh, they're torturing me and they're hacking my device. We know this. They're doing this to me all the time. They're doing it to you every day. It's full-time problem, okay? But there's going to be solutions starting to come out of this channel as I gain more knowledge and get in a better position, which I have been. I've been on a rampage for several years now. I've been on the rise rather than like on the fall, where when I first started having this happen to me, they destroyed my life, and there was times where I can admit that I probably helped them to destroy my life, and they would hope that they could succeed in fully destroying you, but unfortunately for them, they didn't. And now I believe it's too late. I don't think there's nothing they can do to destroy me, and I think I have a good plan to continue with the computer science education and getting myself in a better financial situation and taking better care of myself and just having a lot of knowledge. And I think that this channel will start to reflect all of that. And as we move in that direction, you'll find more solutions on this channel. So anyway, that's it for now. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you on the next one.